Like, how are things going for you? This obviously, like, the team isn't where you want to be, right?
Jesus. Yeah, absolutely
But
not.
but like,
Personally playing well. Some would say at a high level. Things that we've known.
yeah,
I think in terms of this year alone, I'm just really enjoying the ability to show them. Love the bedroom that I'm in. Different because the D-line room has sort of always been has always been together. And this year, you got the interior D-line in one of them and the edges in the other. But really enjoying it. It's great to see guys entering their prime. You talk about year 6, year 7 type guys in Carla and Chase, and bringing the addition of Chris Rumph, and you should have a young guy like Fidel who's willing to learn and just starting to show like some flashes in practice. It's sort of an ability to actually enjoy the moment, which I was upset for 2 or 3 days after Miami. Really, after trash Atlanta, you lose to them, and I was upset for about 4 days. And then we lose to Miami. I was like, that's a winnable game. If anything, that's sort of where we've been. We've sort of been losing games that I think we've been close in. And prior seasons, you've seen success when you can build confidence off those winnable games. When you don't build confidence, then you sort of see the actions.
a couple things off that, like showing that you have the ability still, even though it's been demonstrated over 15 years. Obviously the last couple of years were what they were with the sack numbers and everything, but was it important to you to show that you still had that?
Yeah, I mean,
even if you knew it, to show them.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say at the end of last year, last 4 games were pretty good in terms of opportunity as well as ability shown. So it was just building off that beginning of the year. We were able to take a heftier rotation of reps, and all of a sudden production's back up. And then you enter your rotation, and it's like, all right, as long as there's an opportunity, there's ability to be shown. So you have to be thankful for opportunities granted and take advantage of each and every one.
Is it harder to appreciate your personal production when you are spending a couple days after game being pissed off?
That's how I've always been. So I don't know how to answer that. Yeah, I'm never going to be happy about a loss. The fact that this is the first time I think we've for sure have ever been eliminated from playoff this early in the year sort of sucks. Because you work so hard in the offseason, you work so hard at OTAs, you work so hard to training camp, you try and meld together during the season to create something like a winning season, a successful season, and it doesn't come out that way. It keeps you up at night for a couple of days. And at the same time, now it's focusing on what you can't control. It's always been control what you can't control, and that's your mindset, that's your mentality, that's the ability to get after the pass rusher, stop the run, and make your teammates better for this last 5 weeks.
Do you think that getting that ramp to play 6 weeks or whenever it was Chase was out helped you still be productive even when you had to be shift back to a rotational role?
I don't know about that one. I truly love this game, so I'm always going to say the more reps the better, but it is, I can't control what I can't control. At the end of the day, if you give me more than 5 plays, then I can have a chance to have more than five plays being made. I can't control the number of reps. I do know that when I'm in, I'm highly effective, and that hasn't ever changed, I don't think. Rookie year till now.
So, having said that, I think I know the answer to this, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. When you were going through these last 2 years, you knew that this was something big.
Yeah, if you say 2 years ago when I had 2 sacks because I tore, what was that, 8, 9, or 10 games in or whatever, right after that bye week we played trash Atlanta, tore the perineals and something else in the ankle, and all I could do was go forward for the last 6 games, so sucked. But at the same time, that's showing love for the game. Being able to say, if I can't bend the edge, fine, I got teammates that can. My sack production was low, but tackles were still there, his run styles were still there. And then the next year, buried for whatever reason, which one day an explanation should be had, but
we've been skirting the edges.
Yeah, skirt the edges. Yeah,
Yeah,
without going toxic. But after there was opportunities given at the end of that last year, and you see 4 sacks in 5 games, production back up. It's always been proven that the ability's there. It's just being able to capitalize.
I know at the beginning of the year when you talked about reworking your contract and you told your agent, hey, I want some incentives in there to kind of.
I don't want any incentives. No, I always say pay me what is owed. But if they're going to, take what they want, I don't want his opportunity to prove that I am who I am.
Do you feel like that's happened? I mean, obviously there's that number, and you're in that kind of range now. Do you even think
I'm
about
not gonna lie to you. I don't really think about that. For me, I'm looking at legacy push, which normally I talk about accolades or whatever after season. But sort of looked at it after the Miami game. It's like, dang, no, you're normally pushing for playoffs. Now that you're not pushing playoffs, it's almost a selfish turn. Okay, well, what can I do to make myself better? What can I do to make my teammates better? How can I respond better to these situations? Sitting at 128 sacks sounds really good. 130 sounds better.
Have you looked up the record for most sacks by a 35-year-old player or anything like that?
No, could care less. Isn't there Clay still out there? Clay's going to be playing for another 3 years.
In a single season.
No, because, I remember, Julius Peppers, his last year, he had 11 sacks. He watched that one. So a minimum was 11. We got some hunting to do. Now, granted, yeah, he was out there going crazy. And had a majority of reps over at Carolina, but it was Carolina at the time.
As kind of your production keeps increasing or keeps going, do you feel like the conversation shifting at all between is Cam going to retire to is Cam going to be back next year playing? Hey,
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever considered any of that.
Sure.
I've left that for the uppers to figure out, and you guys figure out. I mean, if they don't want me, there's 31. There's really
that's
4 other
that's
teams.
what he means, though. It's like
There's really 3 other teams.
that's what I mean.
It gets real low.
He means between playing and retiring, not playing here. Right?
I mean, in my mind, it's always playing here versus or retiring. But again, maybe it's not. As you look back the last couple of years, maybe you do have to look around. I think that time will tell where that happens. I'm just focused on this week, this game, how best to attack the run game and set us up for an advantageous pass rush situation.
I know we asked you about it a couple of weeks ago, but facing the Bucs again, given what the GM said last time out, does that
What did he say
motivate
last
you
time?
anymore?
Oh, the Twitter situation.
Yeah,
I know, right? When you have one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, you have a little confidence behind you, And since Drew retired, we've had maybe was it 9 quarterbacks start for us, which
Sounds right.
yeah, continuity is key sometimes, paramount if you will. But because of that, I mean, it's also shown that Tampa has won 4 division championships since then, right? Because even Drew's last year, I don't think they did. I think they got wiped during the regular season. Best 2 out of 3 on that one. And now here we are. They've got they went to go find their quarterback, Baker Mayfield, who was a former number 1 overall pick. Before that, they had Tom Brady. See what they did there. As well as the landscape's changing as well, because I think even now we're still fighting to prove our legitimacy. So
Does having the division games left help at all? Obviously, you talked about, you're eliminated from the playoffs, but there's, you don't have to search for motivation.
I've never had to search for motivation a day in my life to play football. I can wake up, roll over, and be excited for training camp, as you've seen me be for the last 15 years. I don't need motivation when we talk about the game of football. I mean, where else can I roll over and be like, I got to hit somebody today? Can't really do that in too many other places.
I guess I just meant in the broader sense for the entirety of the team, right?
Yeah, other people. Can't control other people.
Right?
Hey, I think everybody's on the same page, though. If anything, it sort of is like all right, how can I best, turn my situation into an advantageous situation? I think this room is filled with a locker room full of great guys and great competitors, and it sort of takes to practice like it did today, or whatever that part was, but it'll be even better tomorrow, and we'll roll on from Sunday. Because we got guys like John Ridgeway, who keeps shaving his face looking like a 6'7" Gerber baby. but with the butt chin.
What's
Do you
the
think
Reeves talking about?
You think any,
I don't think he's winning with that one.
you think any of that motivation comes from having such a young locker room and so many of the young guys playing that maybe there's still that youthfulness and excitement as opposed to having maybe gone through some of the recent challenges?
Sure, if you say so. Again, I don't really worry about that because I think the locker room as a collective has been so forward focused. It's like, you know, we know what we've done, and I think I've said it all season. If we clear up our mistakes, if we play our brand of football, then we can win a lot more of these games. When you're not having penalties that set back drives or whatever, you know, penalties that are giving life to their side. We play clean games. We're usually happy. We just haven't been happy because we keep getting our own way.
You already got asked about chasing Baker Mayfield around this week.
No, go ahead.
You did?
Not yet.
Nope.
No. Well, what are your impressions of the way his game has evolved and his fit with that team over the last few years? It seems like he's still kind of on an ascending.
Yeah, I feel like he's always been talented. The reason why he went over number one. I love Baker's story. Wasn't he like walk on to Oklahoma? You know,
Texas Tech.
Texas.
sure. You know, walk on. Start of the word. Like where they counted him out, and I had that chip on ever since. I think that he's, you know, he got to the league and, you know, had to bounce around a few times, and then he's had this resurgence, as a lot of these quarterbacks have. And now you see him playing at a high level because he's seen the defenses, he's seen whatever, but also he's playing with that chip on the shoulder. You play better, I think, in this world when you have a little chip on your shoulder.
Is he showing a knack for doing the things that can make your life difficult in terms of his ability to move?
Step up, step through the pocket, escape a lot. I mean, the last game he extended the drives a couple times with his feet. I know they said he had a shoulder injury, but it didn't look like it this past weekend. I think he's playing well. So is it annoying? Absolutely. Plus, now that he's injured, you see last week, he was getting the ball out faster than he was at the beginning of the year. So more annoying. I think they got healthier. I think Chris Godwin's back now, right? Was Bucky up earlier?
He didn't play against it all.
Bucky's up early now. You know, I think they're adding more talent to their roster, which they were already a talented roster. So it's like I said, it's always been about us. So we got to focus on what we can do to eliminate those mistakes.
Were you referring to yourself when you mentioned chip on your shoulder?
I mean, I've always played this way. You forget I got drafted to be a 4-eye D-tack, and I've made myself an edge. I said I was a big pass rusher, but I'm not sure how many pass rush attempts I had in my rookie year. You got to take advantage of every opportunity. I guess I'll continue proving it.
Well, that was several defensive coordinators.
And here we are, still fighting. We like to fight, you know? Nothing like a good fight in the morning. Who needs coffee when you have football?
I forget that you played for him.
Which one? Greg Williams? There we go, yeah. Yeah. Greg Williams, Spags. Who's after that?
Rob?
Rob Ryan. First guy who actually loved D-line and felt it, like as a D coordinator. You know, like most D coordinators love the DBs and mixing up the blitzes. Yeah, absolutely. That was the first guy that was like, we let the big guys eat up front. And I was like, I've never heard this before. You actually like us. Okay. You know, everybody tries to get real intricate with all these disguises and all these blitzes. Just let the big dogs eat. You know, in my mind, a perfect pass rush consists of Cam Jordan, Carl Granderson, Chase Young, Brian Brzee, and Nathan Shepard all on 101s.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, that's my perfect world.
Somebody was asking earlier, which perfect players were ahead of you on the all-time sack chart. You
Vaughn.
name the 3 current NFL players with 120 career sacks.
Oh, 120. I thought you said ahead of me. It's just Vaughn. Yeah, it's Vaughn.
Ahead of you. And you, and then
Dang, is there somebody with 120?
121.
It's got to be what, Miles right now? Miles had 19 this year. Yeah, he jumped. Yeah, he jumped out. Yeah, I was saying it's got to be Miles, and then probably behind him would be Calais.
Yep. You got it.
and then behind him would be TJ.
You got it. You
Yeah.
got it. You know you.
And then behind him would be Khalil. But like
So maybe our question should be, what are you going to do to prevent Miles Garrett?
nothing. I don't know if he's tried to play the run in the last 10 weeks. This man is swimming, chopping, ripping. He's looking like the god of pass rush right now, a demigod, if you shall. And he's aiming. There's only one God, so my bad, Jesus. But yeah, demigod of pass rush right now. I mean, he's literally swiping, chopping, jumping. Like, it's amazing to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could ever do it.
When did you start kind of paying attention to like the records and who was up there? And why
I
does
don't. I didn't.
You just rattled off 5 guys.
Conversation happens, and as well as as like, because every week you're watching. Every week you're watching. I watch the sack reels from the past week, right? As you're watching film, I watch game flow, and then I watch sacks that happened that week, and then I watch sacks that happened against the team. And you're going to see those guys pop up. You're going to see the Max Crosby, the Trey Hendersons. You're going to see, Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson. So you see the guys who are in the league get them, and you're like, oh, if you're consistently getting them, you're like, dang, I assume that's where they're at. And then after season, you see where you're at, and then you see the names around you. And so that's where you sort of surmise who's where and where's what.
Do you think the hair has anything to do with your...
My lightning quick hair? No, I need to get braided. I'm struggling. It's a struggle week right now. I told you I was upset. Took my hair out, did a wash day, and I just swallowed. Like, I just sat in my low chair, ate a whole bunch of popcorn. Not just like airy popcorn, like the Chicago blend, like the cheesy caramel situation. Found myself at the bottom of that bag, and I was like, where do we go from here? Kettle corn. Kettle corn is where we went.
I love kettle corn.
Yeah.
Was that your idea, or does your wife like it?
The hair, not the...
I thought we were talking about popcorn here. I was like, when you're snacking, I assume
Does your wife like
that's the
popcorn?
least- Yes, she does. She says she doesn't like to snack, and she goes through all my snacks, which I'm confused. She's a health nut, and then like when I bring in my snacks, she eats them with the kids, and I'm like, wait, okay.
But I was asking if your wife likes your hair, not your snacks.
My wife loves me. Luckily, I think it's beyond. As long as the face card doesn't decline, we're good. The hair, she's learned to tolerate. The only thing I'm not allowed to do is this.
Clean shave.
This clean shaven look. Yeah, it's. The only thing she like. That's when she says, she asked the question, do I even like her? And I'm like, whoa, bro, I married you. Like, your parents can't afford you anymore. Like, there's only me. But yeah. She loves me. I don't know if she likes my hair. She probably doesn't. Probably doesn't.